everybody, I'm Dennis Pitzenbarger. We're here in the Las Vegas Convention Center for the 50th SEMA Show. 40 years here.
40 years in Vegas.
40 years in Vegas, 50 years on the SEMA Show, and I got the guy who is self-labeled the trade show nerd, Tom Gattuso. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, Dennis. How are you?
I love that you embrace, like, it's the best thing ever. I am the trade show nerd. I love that. You know what? I don't think anybody has any idea what sort of crazy orchestration of chaos goes into any show, let alone this show. I mean, try to let everybody kind of get a glimpse of how crazy your life is when it comes to this is your baby in so many ways, man. I mean, open it up to us, because we just walk in and the bathrooms are clean and the hallways are nice and the signs are all up, and there was a lot of work that got it to that point. Talk about that.
You know, we're really working on 3 shows at a time. So this year's 2016. We're pretty good on some of our planning for 17. I'm already working on 18 as well. So if we stay 3 years ahead, we're usually pretty good. But it all goes in cycles. So we start the first of the year and we do our selling, and then we get into the operational aspects of where the booths are going to go. And then we really get into, from July 4th till now, we're really into the hard operational aspects, what the safety plan is, what our emergency plans are, just the nitty-gritty of producing a trade show behind the scenes, things that people never see. And then you get into our customer service aspect of operations, where what vehicles are going to go where, when they move in. There's just a lot of moving pieces. We've got a fantastic team at SEMA that helps us put it together. You know, I call myself a trade show nerd or an air traffic controller, because everything kind of comes across my desk and I'm just sort of directing where it goes. But we've got a registration team, we've got a new products team, we've got an operations team. It's amazing the work they do. And it's funny because when you look at the parking lot at our headquarters in Diamond Bar, the closer you get to the show, the less and less cars I see in the parking lot when I leave. And the last month, it's me and a couple other people at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock at night are the only cars in the parking lot. And it's something that I'm proud of, because when I first started working at SEMA and I was first the trade show director, I felt sorry for myself leaving later than most people. And I walked in the parking lot, and there was only 3 cars in the parking lot. Mine was one of them. Chris Kirsting's was another one, and Bill Miller's was another one. And I said, you know, I think I'm at the right place, because I'm working my butt off to produce the best trade show in the world. And we've got our VP of operations and our president working later than I was. So that's just a great thing. You know, we're really passionate about putting the best trade show in the world here in Las Vegas, and we're just lucky that it's in this industry.
At any given time, say, I mean, from beginning to end when we open the doors, how many people work to make this show happen? I mean, I know there's probably not a definitive number, but there's got to be a roundabout number, 100, 200, 300,000, 2,000.
Oh no, it's in the thousands for sure, and it's almost like a pyramid. So you start with the people that you're having direct contact with, and we're hiring some subcontractors, and then they have their own pyramids. And when you get done with it, there's easily 2,500 people that are working on this show. And most people are only interacting with a few of them. So our goal as an association is to try to give our vision and our passion to those 2,500 people. And we go to a lot of work to make sure our vendors are in tune with us and what we're doing. We host them on some events where they get to really know where we're headed as an association, where we want to go as a trade show. And in the trade show industry, we're kind of a big deal, you know.
Well, it's only the biggest trade show in the world.
It's the 3rd largest trade show in the U.S.
Is it the
2nd largest in Vegas, but the largest automotive show, I think, for what we do.
Well, it's got to be the largest automotive. What's bigger than SEMA?
You know, there's a show about electronics. I don't even know what they call it, but it happens here in Vegas just after the first of the year.
Oh,
and
that's bigger than this?
That's bigger than this. Technically, it's bigger than this.
They just bring in a bunch of TVs.
You know, it's funny because our footprint here at the Vegas Convention Center is bigger than that show's. And we're a trade show where we're very counterintuitive, because we are dealing with companies, manufacturers that are just all about passion.
Yeah.
So for us, it doesn't matter how big you are. They want to just know how good we are. And they want to be around the best. So we try to produce the best trade show we possibly can. So when it comes time, from the trade show nerd perspective, to put in our numbers, we don't count all the square feet. We're not counting any of our racetracks. We're not counting any of our outdoor space, really. We're only counting what's under the roof of the convention center. So when they rank us as the 3rd largest trade show in the country, there's a good chance that we're probably bigger than that. But for us, it's not about being big. It's about helping our companies succeed, our member companies succeed, and being the best. So you look around the show, and we've got things like Ed Tilrock as an artist that is just...
I love his display down there.
Yeah, it's just incredible. And things like that, where you take a guy who's passionate about automotive art and you incorporate him into the best trade show in the world, and what you get is just this incredible week of what we're doing here at SEMA.
Including a beautiful mural right behind us here in SEMA Central.
Yeah.
You know, it is cool to talk about this with you because there is so many working parts. I'm not letting anybody tell anybody any different. It's still the biggest car show in the world, or the biggest trade show in the world, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
One of the things that I think is really interesting when I talk to people about SEMA, because I have so many great companies that I talk to around in all these halls, I always akin that to the movie Draft Day.
Right.
And that whole, you know, what's going on now, it's not really like that. There's no trading of this or athletes and whatnot, but man, when it comes to the booth selection days, now I know that there's a lot of things, working parts in that, but it's really interesting talking to people about that because it is a serious deal.
Yeah.
A lot of people, you know, they look at all these different aspects of where they're going to be because it's so important, and it's why companies can grow here, because they can grow both in space. You can have one little 10 foot by 10 foot, and you don't know that in 10 years, you're going to have something as big as maybe Chevrolet. You
Right.
never know. And I've watched this show grow. My first year was 05. And I've watched this show morph in so many great ways and change in so many ways. It's so interesting to me to watch it really, I don't even want to say mature, because after 50 years, it's not going to go through a midlife crisis anytime
Right.
soon. But it's fun to have watched it change even the time I've been coming.
Yeah, no, it's incredible. You know, you mentioned our space selection. There's so much history and so much seniority. It's such a privilege to be able to work with companies who've been with you for 50 years. And we get into it, and it is competitive, but to keep everything in perspective, when we're in our trade show zone, all we're really doing is building an environment that brings a buyer and a seller together. So when it gets heated and people want to trade spaces, or people are looking about locations, it's all really building this environment that connect a buyer and a seller. So, you know, I use an analogy sometimes where we build the stadium where the Super Bowl happens, but our buyers and our exhibitors are the two teams that are playing, and they're the ones that put the Super Bowl on. So when you come out of that event, you really have no idea who built the stadium, but stadium nerds are totally into it. They're like, oh yeah, the bathrooms were in the right spot, the concessions were in the right spot, they checked all the boxes in terms of customer service, that was an awesome stadium, and you know, you can have a great experience. And that's where, from my perspective, what we're trying to do is I'm hoping that you have no idea what's happening behind the scenes, that all you're seeing is exhibitors, and they're showing their best, they're being innovative, they're being passionate, and that's what you're seeing in the aisles. And you're not worried about the carpet or the electrical or the security guard or any of that stuff, because that's what me and my team do. So we take that out of it so that all you guys do when you walk around the show is just enjoy the industry, partake in all this innovation and passion that's going on, and really make the most of the 4 days. And then we finish that. We come back next year, we celebrate 51, and keep going till 100 and then beyond.
Well, I'm figuring in age, hopefully I'll make it all the way there. Tom, always a pleasure to have you up here, man.
Absolutely.
I mean, really, it's a great glimpse behind the scenes. And this is how I know it's always a great show, because I don't know who's cleaning the bathrooms, and I don't know who's working the security, and I don't know any of that stuff, because it just works seamlessly, man. Job well done,
So I want to tell you one thing. Nobody, except a trade show nerd, will know exactly how many miles of aisles there are inside this building at this trade show.
Oh, I only know
can
because
share that with you.
I heard it was 43.
It's not 43.
What is it?
It's 21 miles of aisles.
21 miles. So if I walk every aisle, north, central, south, upper, and lower,
Right.
23 miles.
Well, 21 miles.
21 miles, excuse me.
Inside the building. And again, outside the building, we really don't count, and we're not laying a lot of aisle carpet down there, so it's hard to say. But I'd say you might be right on that 23 to 25 mile area. So that's a nice trivia point not a lot of people know about.
Well, I tell you what, my Fitbit tells me I'm walking a lot every day, that's for sure.
Yeah, I walked 10 miles yesterday.
Excellent. Thank you, Tom,
All right,
so
Dennis,
much.
thank
I
you.
really appreciate it. Job well done on the show. And now you just got to worry about 17, 18, and 19.
Exactly.
If you want to know more about what he's doing, go to SEMA.org. Of course, this is the SEMA Show 50th anniversary. I'm Dennis Spitzenbarger. We'll be back soon.